Yo, 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 what's up? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Jigga Vision. Greatly appreciate you guys checking us in. I'm here with the wonderful, the amazing Miss D. Say hi to the people, D. All right, all right. So, kind of like just we're gonna interact. We'll have a conversation. A wonderful event happened today where we were able to be a part of the panel. We explain our experiences and stuff like that in Ghana and what we're doing in Ghana, which was amazing. We have a beautiful crowd that came out, and it was pretty good. What would you say?
I think it was
It was
amazing.
good.
Yeah, it was good. It
Awesome.
was good.
And Miss Makeda Smith was the one who invited us to join this event here in Chicago. You guys will know about her because she actually was in the podcast, which I'll be uploading on the channel pretty soon. So you'll get to get familiar with her as well. So to start off, we'll talk about how we met, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as I mentioned, guys, we were invited to come and be a part of the panel. And so we flew in. I flew in from Florida yesterday. And D, when did you fly in? Yesterday, right?
I flew in yesterday from New York, upstate New York.
From New York. So cool. And then we knew we were going to be part of the panel, of obviously with emails and communications that Makita was actually sending out to us. But D went ahead and reached out to me, which was awesome. You know what I mean? Kind of like reached out to me. Hey, you want a link? Kind of get just chop it up a little bit before the actual event, which was done today. So we did just that. We hung out a little bit, went out, had dinner. We kind of chopped it up, right? You know what I mean? And kind of like familiarizing ourselves with one another, and just kind of like picking up from where we left off from what we're doing in Ghana, And so let's talk about the event today.
Yes, absolutely. Right? Yes, absolutely.
What was your thoughts on the event, and what did you like the most? What feedbacks do you have?
So my thoughts on the event, I feel like the event was absolutely amazing. The fact that Makita, the bridgeway between actually you and I and so many other people that traveled to Chicago from all over the world, for her to be such a powerful bridgeway to connect so many people with one vision, that was huge for me, and I think for everybody who attended. The event was great. It was the Ghana meets Chicago Expo, the International Real Estate Expo. The event was amazing. We were connected with so many humans who, they have the vision to invest in Ghana, but just wanted to be connected with real people like you and I who have already done so. Mm-hmm. So to just share our story with those people and to connect with those people in an organic way, I really feel like that made it so much more special, So for me, the event was great. I was able to connect with so many great humans, humans that I can relate to, beyond a business aspect, So
that human to human interaction, right?
Yeah, human interaction.
Yeah, it was dope, and I second that. I piggyback off of what you just said. Just to give you guys like a backstory, right? So Makita Smith, she's an international realtor, right?
Yep.
So which if you guys don't know, I was able to actually not partner, but was able to actually through her kind of got an investment property down in Ghana, and so did D, right? And so it was an honor that she reached out. I think it was just three of us, right?
Yep.
Out of the many, so she reached out to three of us just to kind of like express our experience through this panel that we were in, and just kind of like talk to the others, to the audience, and kind of like let them know, hey, we were there, we were you once, right?
Yeah.
And so I think what was phenomenal is the questions that were being asked.
Absolutely.
Right? So what were your thoughts on that? Because sometimes you're able to, when we're in such settings, you're able to identify who's really wanting to do certain things and who's not.
Right.
But I felt like the conversation and the questioning was so much today to where I felt like a lot of people were interested. And it may not be just buying property, but just investing or even going to Ghana.
Absolutely.
What were your thoughts on just that aspect of the questions being asked and how what do you call it, engaged everyone was?
So my thought process on that was I really feel like, the idea of Makita having the panelists, you and I, and the other lady on board to actually answer the questions. I think that was a great idea because the questions that were asked were questions from non-traditional standpoint. Like they were real life questions. Like, hey, my husband and I are in this situation, I'm in this situation. How should I go about it? And what better way to have those questions answered than through people who have already gone through that, right? Mm-hmm. Those type of questions don't really need to be Googled, right? They need to be answered through people who have actually experienced that. So I really feel like, Makita having that panelist with real life people who have already gone through what people are anticipating going through. I really think that was great.
To me, one of the things that was intriguing, right? Because she only invited three, right?
Yeah.
Investors. What was dope about the three of us is that each and every one of us, we met her in a different fashion.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So today was my first time in having communications with Makita since last year. Today was my first time meeting her face to face, right? I was able to I did two podcasts with her. I did one on her channel, and of course, she did one on mine. And so we've seen each other, right, virtually, but never met. And what was your story, and how did you meet Makita?
Yeah, so I met her actually through IG, and I traveled down to Orlando, Florida to meet her at one of the conferences she was having down there when I was living in Florida at the time. And so that was actually at least 3 years ago when I met her, and we've stayed connected ever since. Right. So, yeah.
I think she's just a phenomenal person. I think that, when you have in that world, right, being a real estate investor or being a realtor or what have you, and now she's internationally known, I think it's easy because most people are just driven by making money. What I grasp in my experience and analyzing, because I do a great job in analyzing people, with her it was just she's more focused in on relationships.
Absolutely.
Right? And not only relationships, but hearing your story and being able to identify what works for you.
Exactly.
In the best way possible.
Absolutely.
So I saw that. So not only just Makita was there today during this event, but she also invited the developer.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think that was dope because being in that realm, being in that, the real estate game, you don't really brush shoulders with the developer.
No, it's very rare.
So tell me about that, because first and foremost, before we even continue, let me stop it and kind of gauge into these what she does for a living, because I know we're talking about investments and stuff like that. But tell the people, what is it that you do? What's your passion and all that before we continue?
So I do quite a bit, but I'm a broker owner in Nashville, Tennessee, and a broker owner in the Dominican Republic. So real estate is my thing. You know what I mean? I do other things outside as well. I'm a medical traveler, a nuclear medicine technologist of 16 years.
Pop that collar.
But anyway, so I do quite a bit. I'm also wife, mother of 4, dog mom, about to have puppies soon, doing that life too. I have a child who loves animals and wants to be a veterinarian. So we decided, okay, we're going to quit begging people to allow my child to come into their space. Everybody keeps telling us no.
Right.
So we're like, okay, we'll create our own space. So we're about to do that for Mason. But anyway, so long story short, I do quite a bit, but real estate is my arena. So with me, from like a development aspect, an investing aspect, I've been exposed to a lot of different styles of investing, real estate wise. And then from a developer aspect, I've seen a lot of developments from foundation to completion, right? So I've seen a lot, and it hasn't been pretty, you know, from the American side to the international side. So to be actually attached to a developer that has quality, not just quality from a physical standpoint, but quality from a wisdom standpoint, which is what Afromont Atlantic, i.e. Moses, he brings that to the table. I automatically was gravitated toward that because I've seen so much and I know business enough to where when I see a developer owner who actually takes the time to connect with his clients and he doesn't treat his clients like clients, he treats you like family,
Absolutely.
right? He takes time to give you wisdom behind the transaction process. So for me, it was like, I'm in.
Facts.
I'm in.
And it's so funny because when we talk about family, because I also kind of made mention to this, to our experience, Moses and I. And Moses, again, is the developer, guys. And he's co-owner of Afromart Atlantic. That's in Ghana. So he's actually going to his third project, which is amazing. And I'm happy for my brother. So when Makita actually sent me to meet Moses, and I talked about this earlier, Moses and I, we sat down in the construction site and we spoke for 3
3 hours. And he
hours.
corrected you today.
Yeah, I said 2, but he corrected.
He's
He
like,
said
no,
it
3.
was 3. Like we literally, it was getting dark, and we was like, hold up, we didn't even do anything that I came here for, which was looking at the property and seeing if I was interested. And I say that, guys, just to understand, for you guys to understand that in business, that's needed sometimes, right? Because, we're foreigners, of course, I'm a Ghanaian citizen now, but still a foreigner in the sense where I reside, most of my time in the States. And so for us to being able to kind of like, you know what, let me give you my money, let me invest in this property, it's not easy. Let's be honest, right? Because we don't know what will transpire, especially for somebody like me who has been scammed in another country. And so it wasn't, an easy thing for me to just say, okay, let me sign it, on the dotted line. So him making me comfortable, and it was just, again, genuine, organic conversations, talked about everything under the sun, and to where it was like, okay, oh wait, oh, we're here to do business, so
Right.
let's go see this property,
Right.
let's go see, your condo and things of that nature. And so that was phenomenal, right? And I think that that's what those two bring, Makita Smith and also Moses. They bring that organic, genuine relationship that you would want to do, that makes you want to do business with them. And if it's not one time, but multiple times, because I'm even thinking about extending certain things out with them as well. So it was really dope. So I'm very appreciative that he was also able to come as well, although we still communicate while he's in Ghana, from time to time. Now, so D, tell me this, like, what was like your highlight of today's event? And what did you think about it, in that aspect?
So for me personally, the highlight of today's event was realizing and understanding that my journey that I've taken up to this point has such great and profound purpose. Like I feel like a lot of times I kind of like underestimate my presence.
Okay.
But to be in the room today and realize that when I did have the opportunity to speak and when I was speaking, people were listening and people were in tune. And a lot of times we get distracted and we feel like the long, detailed explanation of things and the calculated explanation of things is what people desire, and that's not really it. People just need a simple,
Simplicity.
clear
Yes.
testimony. And that's what I give. My testimony is simple and clear. My testimony is everything that I have lived. So today, that's what I gained from it. It's like, Donzi, don't underestimate your journey, because your people are being fed from my journey and from my walk, and me just testifying to the things that I've gone through. It really blessed a lot of people today. So that's what I really took away from today.
That's dope. That's dope. And I know offline, before we turned the camera on, we were talking about introverted extroverts and stuff like that. And I bound not just to you, but to everybody. Oh, I'm an introvert. But in the line of work that I'm doing, right, whether it's giving you guys some content or having these panels or, business meetings and things like that, we have to come out of that shell, right, to being able to express yourself, to being able to share your experiences. And, you know, a lot of the things you said were very profounding today. Like you mentioned, simple, right? Sometimes it ring, sometimes it just, that's all people need, right?
Simple.
And so, you know, I think you gave just that, and you clarified a lot of stuff. You shared your experience, which a lot of us sometimes we're hesitant to doing that. So I want to say from, you know, from me to you, I definitely appreciate
Thank you.
everything you said today, because I've also learned as well. And what I learned about D too, like she don't play, right? So she's quick to, you know, like let you know, hey, there are other alternative ways to do certain things. Or if you're looking at something like we were talking about the HELOC, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah, yeah.
always stuck in my
Yeah.
mind. And you know, you kind of talked about it, and you said, hey, there are some good benefits to it, and here's what you need to do, versus kind of shutting it down or what have you. So very, very appreciative of that. Now let's kind of like change gear a little bit, right?
Okay.
Because I don't know if I've asked you this, you know, off the camera, but I want to know now, why Ghana? Why? So we talked about the people that are involved. We talked about Makita. We talked about Moses. We get that. I'm on the same page with you. But why was it that? Because I understand you travel a lot. You've been all around the world, in the States and stuff. Why Ghana?
So for me, the execution to Ghana, and I want to say the execution, when I did the execution, it was with great urgency. First of all, I want to put that out there. Um, why Ghana? Well, it's because one, I'm a very spiritual person, and I'm very in tune with the Most High. And when I hear the call and I know the call, I execute obediently, urgently. So Ghana was the location. I didn't know why until I got there. So I got there, and honestly, when I got there, I felt it. I didn't quite understand it, but I felt it. There was a peace. There was a like, okay, let's go. And so for me, once I actually gained the knowledge that was actually stripped away from me as an American citizen, when you go to Ghana, you're relearning. You're literally relearning history when you get there.
Sure.
And when in that short amount of time, when I actually had the opportunity to relearn history and learn how to reattach myself to who I am as a person, both naturally and spiritually, I was like, okay, this is it. And understanding what is it, what they call it, the Gold Coast. That's like the real name of Ghana.
Right. The Gold
You know,
Coast.
understanding those little nuggets and those little pieces, it just made so much sense to me. One, I had connections to Makita, Moses, who are very credible people. You know what I mean? I had connections to them, and to also be on a platform that would not only allow me to be connected physically, but be connected spiritually, that would transcend beyond the current transaction, right?
Right.
So Moses is a deep dude, bruh. When you invest with him with Solara, you in, right? So it all made sense at that point. So I called my husband up and I was like, hey, here are the numbers. Let's go. He's like, you sure? I was like, I'm very sure. And honestly, the numbers at that time and the natural didn't make sense. In the natural, it did not make sense. It just didn't make sense. But I knew in my heart, this is what we were supposed to do. And ever since we said yes, and we said yes before I flew back to the States. So I was literally in the airport about to get back. And I presented that sense of urgency to my husband. I was like, we got to activate. We got to activate. He was like, are you sure? I was like, we got to activate. So we got to do this. And we started the act. And I remember like taking off, leaving Ghana, and I'm texting Moses, yes. Like, and the plane is like going up. And yo, when I got back to the States, doors flew open.
Wow.
Doors flew open financially.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you mentioned something. You mentioned your experience and how you were moved.
Yes. Yes.
What does that explain a little bit, elaborate more on that move, and what you were feeling, the spiritual realm,
Yeah.
the, you know, why you felt you were there, right? Because you said it was a calling
Yes.
and you've
Yes.
answered it. So kind of elaborate on those things for us.
So that experience and that feeling, one piece was a huge factor. I didn't feel pressured in any way. It was like a smooth, peaceful flow. And the experience when I was in Ghana, man, like the connection that you have with the environment and the location, like detached from the people, right? But just being in that space in Ghana, to just be connected in a spiritual way to where you can detach yourself from the physical being of a human and be connected with just being there, meaning sand, water, sun, birds. If nothing else showed up and it was just me in Ghana, yo, it was freaking amazing.
Right.
Like, it was such a beautiful experience. And it really felt like the true definition of home. You know how you hear home is where the heart is, home is where the heart is. And being there really confirmed that home is where the heart is. Home can never be attached to any real estate investment. I'm gonna be just transparent. We've done a lot of real estate deals, and I refuse to attach myself to any key, right? But home is where the heart is,
Right.
and where the soul is. And in Ghana, I felt like this is home.
That's dope. That's dope.
Home.
And it's. I always tell people, I tell you guys all the time, it's a feeling,
Yeah.
right? It is not, I'm going to Ghana because this person has that experience. I'm going to have it. We don't. I didn't put it upon myself, and I can only assume you didn't as well. It's just something that it's an overwhelming, amazing, but surreal moment for me when I landed for the first time, right? And so I understand what D is saying because it also happened to me. So D, let's transition back into your secular work, right? We talk about the real estate game and things like in that nature. You're well seasoned in that game, right? You've been doing it for decades now, right? You said you have something in DR. You invested in DR.
Yeah.
We understand Ghana. We understand that feeling, that move. We understand all of that. But why Afrimar Atlantic? Why did you invest with them? Why did you invest with Moses? Because it could have been 100 other developers.
Oh yeah.
Explain to us outside of what we've already talked about with his
Absolutely.
personality and things of that nature. But why them?
Because his quality of build and the passion that he displayed toward bringing value to the table. This dude is huge about his name. His name is everything. And to look at the build and actually understand the build from a simple aspect, like he explained it all to me, and to understand his why by going above and beyond. So the measures that he was taking from the foundation aspect, it wasn't necessary. It wasn't required by codes. He did it because, he wanted to bring value, not just verbally, but also physically. Like he wanted to produce value even for his clients. And so for me, that was a no-brainer. And I even looked at other properties while I was in Accra, while I was in Ghana. Hands down, Moses was one.
Right. And I second that as well. So now, what would you say, like, what, with dealing with Moses, seeing the quality and seeing that his name is, as he, in his own word, is king, right? What would you say, or what would you say it would be a good habit for a developer or even someone in the real estate game for them to kind of like, if they knew Moses, to kind of like, okay, you know what, let me take these qualities so that way my business can be further out, or my business can be successful. What would you say, like some, it don't have to be in depth, but just a couple of things that his personality you would say it would be good for others to have in that developers game or what have you?
Not be transactional. Be more relatable, because in reality, we all can relate to one another. We just have to take time to talk and get to know each other. You know, we all have pieces in common, but the thing is, we never take time to talk to people, to get to know people, and just take the transaction aspect out of it.
Agree.
You know, I think that's what made it so huge for me. I feel like when I was in the presence of money, I mean, just kidding. When I was in the presence of Moses, I didn't feel like I was a dollar sign to him, right? I felt like, you know, I was his sister, yo.
Right.
Like, he was dropping wisdom. Then I'm like, yo, I feel like I should have bought this book from Amazon. You know, the type of wisdom that Moses was dropping was
Right.
huge.
Right.
You know, and, you know, here in the States where we live, everything's so competitive. You know, people are like, I don't want to tell you too much because you might get ahead of me. Moses was dropping everything as if I was family. You
And
know
he's
what I mean?
telling you what the
Yep.
competitions are doing too.
He's telling you,
and that's what I love about him.
everything.
Yeah.
You know, so that aspect of what he brought to the table meant so much to me. It meant so much to me, to the point where it's like, I want to be a part of whatever it is he's building.
Doing. That's dope. And I second that. I agree, because I think a lot of us, it don't even have to be in real estate. Just if you're a business owner, you have to be relatable.
Yeah.
You have to kind of, you want to get to know who you're doing business with. I mean, they don't have to come over every weekend and have dinner with you or anything like that, but just to understand them, just to know a little, you know, if they have family, if they have kids, like these are very important. These are what will drive us as consumers to being able to, you know, do business with business owners and things like that. So I think that that aspect, the transactional aspect, people should be able to kind of like throw that out the window, you know what I mean, and just being relatable to their consumers. So that's really dope. We're in September. No, sorry, we're in October. I'm saying
Already,
September.
right? Time is flying. Yo.
October. So, any plans on going to Ghana? And if so, when and what is it that you're planning on doing?
So I do have plans on going to Ghana in 2026. So when the development is complete, the development, you know, that you and I have with Moses, when my unit is complete, I plan on going there to go check it out, you know, get my furniture in, you know, all the fun, you know, the fun part, you know. I plan to be there for that. And also this time I plan on taking the family. When I went the first time, the family wasn't with me. So I'm really excited about that, you know, taking the whole family with me.
That's dope.
In the springtime to experience Ghana, and we'll all just stay in that little condo, have a fun little time.
That's dope. So. That's dope. And hopefully by then I'll probably be there as well,
yeah.
You know, just to go see my spot too. That's the idea and that's the plan for now. Anything you want to tell the people, anything that any ventures, any business coming up that you want to just tell the people, even, you know, share your social handles so that the people know what's going on in D's life. World.
What is going on in D's life, y'all? I've got so much going on that I can barely keep up my life. But anyway, I'm on IG and Facebook. Donzi Titus _ Royal Realty. I hope I'm saying that right. And I'm also on Facebook. I am Y'all's Girls 85. So that platform is my empowerment platform, the I am Y'all's Girl 85, where I get up there and I just empower the people from my personal experiences. I get up there, drop wisdom nuggets, post pictures of the family. Me and my family, we're very spontaneous. We do things that most families do not do. So if you want to go up there and get inspired to do some fun, wild, crazy stuff, hey, I'm here for it. My real estate platform, that's where I go up there and give people a lot of real estate wisdom and nuggets. But honestly, like if you reach out to me directly, you'll get the most insight that way. I'm going to be fully transparent. Social media is really not my thing because I'm so busy, you know, to the point where I'm not able to like get up there all the time and post. But I do have platforms on social media. Also, me and my husband, we are doing the Titus Way. That's a brand that we started to where we just get up and we just post our lifestyle with the family because our lifestyle is very unique. We're medical travelers as well with a family of 4 and a dog, and we do things that most people don't do. So,
give us an example. You say you do things, so we want to know, right, guys? So give us one example.
Okay, one example
Yes.
is we have done the full-time RV life, lived in Florida on the lake in a nice gated community in a fifth wheel. We started with a pool behind, 4 kids and a dog, 1 bathroom in a pull behind trailer.
How many girls you have?
3 girls, 1 boy.
Oh my god!
Yeah. So we did the full time RV life. That was so fun, y'all. When I tell y'all, like it put us in a space of simplicity, but really enjoying each other. Yo, Solomon and the kids had so much fun. Like the kids were out riding bikes. We would go fishing. We were in a nice community, so it was gated. So we were okay with the kids riding bikes. We were okay with them walking around by themselves at night.
No animals?
Huh?
You guys didn't see or met any animals?
Oh, we saw gators.
Oh my god!
Yeah, but that's part of the experience, you know.
You can have that.
I know, yeah.
That's interesting. That's good though.
So yeah, we did the full time RV life. When we moved, we're in upstate New York right now, and this past winter we decided to turn it into a winter vacation. So we did a bunch of stuff that we'd never done before: snowmobiling. Snowboarding, skiing, tubing, like all this wild, fun, winter crazy stuff.
Right.
We did it this past winter. We froze, but it was fun.
Right.
You know, it was about the experience.
And the kids will remember that too.
Oh yeah, yes. Absolutely. So we just try to keep life fun.
Okay.
And we make it a great experience for the kids.
And if anyone wants to kind of reach out to you, if they're in your area, whatever, in terms of buying property, what have you, you want to share that information?
Absolutely.
You know, so that way they'll know?
Absolutely. So my real estate brokerage is in Nashville, Tennessee, and the Dominican Republic. I don't currently practice real estate in New York, but like I tell everybody, I am connected. North Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, anywhere. You reach out to me. I'll give you my personal cell, 615-568-4772. You reach out to me, and I'll connect you with someone. If I don't know the answer, I will find it. Like I go hard for my people.
Yes, she does.
But yeah, text me and I'll connect you.
And just let her know if you do, guys, reach out, whether it's text or a call. Just let her know that, hey, you saw her through the Jigga channel, so that way she's, aware and not you being a stalker.
I don't think you scam.
So just let her know. But no, this was great. Again, guys, we just met yesterday, but we bonded. It was like we knew each other for years or what have you. We connected in a way where we understand each other. We understand the goal, the end goal. We understand why we're doing it. I think that's key.
Yep.
Why we're doing it. You understand?
Absolutely.
And so for those of us, like D and I, we have kids, right? And so everything that we're doing, it's for our kids. It's we talk a lot about generational wealth and all, that sounds good, right? But really and truly, I think is for me, and of course you can, have your say in this. For me, it's more about giving my kids options, right? Because just because I'm doing it doesn't mean my son wants to pick this up or my daughter wants to pick it up. And we have to be fair to them because they have their own personality, their own mind, and the things that they want to do. But I just want to leave them, whether I'm here or no longer here, I just want to leave them with options. And I think that's very important for me because I didn't have that growing up, right? And so that's my drive, and that's what makes me want to do the things that I'm doing, whether it's working, whether it's investing, whatever it may be, businesses and stuff like that. So that's my purpose.
Yeah. Same with me, options, leaving a legacy for the family, but also giving them the wisdom and education while we're building those options, and allowing them, like welcoming them into that space while we're building it. And what I mean by that is letting them see me tired at night, crying, frustrated. Mommy, what's wrong? Well, this is what's wrong because of XYZ. So mommy has to do this for the business. Really? Yes, son. So it's important that you have this person in place and that thing in place, so you don't have to go through what mommy's going through right now, you know. So, you know, like really bringing the children into that arena with you while you're going through it. Yes, like just don't do it behind the scenes. They need to see you. They need to be with you.
The sacrifices.
Yes, so they can understand it and value it once they take possession of it and be like, oh, I know what daddy went through, yo. Hey, we got to make sure we have this in place, you know? So, yeah.
And I agree with you 1,000% because I think that this journey, whatever it is that you guys are doing, it's good to fill in the kids, right? To bring it, you know, to their attention. Of course, not in details or what it is in terms of spending, things of that nature, but let them know that you're busting your tail, right? You're doing all that you can do so that way they can have a better life or they can have the options that, you know, we talked about earlier. So it's extremely important. So I appreciate that. I ditto that, right? So that's dope. So before we leave, do you want to have anything that you want to tell the friends? Any inspiring words that you want to leave for the fans here?
First, I want to tell you thank you. Thank you so much for inviting me on this amazing platform. This is awesome, what you're doing. And I just want to tell people to just keep life simple, you know, and, you know, that thought that you have that's like, that's crazy. Ain't nowhere in the world, you know, write it down and don't just ignore it. You know, write those thoughts down and go back to those thoughts and read them. Keep yourself empowered, you know, and you can freaking do it. I'm like a living testimony. You can do literally anything you set your mind to do. And I'm a living testimony. I have 4 whole kids. I'm in a whole marriage. I have a whole pregnant dog.
Not half, a whole.
And my family and I, we've been traveling the world and living our best lives and making the best of it. I mean, and you can do the exact same thing. You know, life is mental. That's what I want to leave with you. Life is mental. Whatever you put in your brain, that's what will manifest in the natural. So, yeah.
And she drops the mic, ladies and gentlemen. Guys, thank you so much. D, thank you so much for being on the channel and just us just bonding through these couple of days, right? And so it's been great because now I know I have someone that, because I don't know everything, right? In fact, to me, I don't know Jack. And so this is a great opportunity for us to always network, a great opportunity to connect, whatever it is I'm trying to get into that you're the expert in. I'm always going to reach out and, you know, and vice versa. Absolutely. So thanks for being here with us, guys. Thanks for watching this episode. Appreciate y'all joining Jigga Vision. We're out. Peace.